Very good morning. Good morning, everyone. This is Vineet Pandey, and I've started 4 minutes before the time so that I can have more students. They'll be joining us. Till now, we have 31 students. I'm sharing the link with everyone. Students are texting me here one by one. So, how's you enjoying your life? Today morning, again, I got another bad news. My online student, Gaurav, he lost his mother yesterday because of COVID issues, but hospital was not taking her in the hospital. So this was the troubling thing. He was very upset, very unhappy. A son who has lost his mother, and just because of the corrupt system of hospitals, he was very unhappy. His mother was not even given the proper treatment, and this was the reason she is no more with us. So I prayed for her mother's soul, and I tried to motivate him. But obviously, it's the greatest loss ever. And this is the life we fight back. We will study together. We'll share knowledge. सभी को good morning, everyone. A very good morning to all of you. आप सबको good morning. जय माता दी. वालेकुम अस्सलाम. It's 5 minutes to 10, and good morning to all, everybody. Good morning. Let's wait for 2-3 minutes and start our session. 2-3 मिनट में wait करते हैं. Let people join us. I'm good. Thank you, Sayyid Raj. Thank you. Black is my favorite color, but it's just that I live alone, so I don't get time to get them ironed, and that's why I avoid it. I'm good. रिया महाजन, you're an online student, you know me. हम लोग बात करते रहते हैं. आपको ग्रुप में इंफॉर्मेशन मेरी मिल जाती है, आई एम गुड और नॉट. कल भी प्राइवेट लेक्चर किया था मैंने. देयर आर न्यू स्टूडेंट्स ऑल्सो जिनको 2 दिन से लेक्चर नहीं मिला. कुछ क्षमता, आंखें ऐसी हैं, आंखें थक गई हैं. नहीं प्रीति, दिव्या शर्मा, बहुत सारा आशीर्वाद है. आई एम गुड मेहुल. Humaira, yes, my eyes, I'm using around 17 to 16 hours. I'm using my phone. There are multiple phones. I have to reply the queries. There are some innocent students. Today also I got a message by an innocent student. He said, "Can you please teach me once again from Anglo-Saxon to postmodern?" I was like, "Is it a content of 2 minutes?" Anglo-Saxon to postmoderns, and it was a registered student. So I said, there are so many lives, private lives. You watch them, and I've been doing this thing now at the very 11th hour. How can I all of a sudden summarize the entire British history? I've done it. April वाले live videos देख लो. रिंकू प्लीज दोबारा मैसेज कीजिए. रिंकू चोपड़ा दोबारा मैसेज कीजिए. मेरे पास बहुत मैसेज आते हैं. आई मिस सम मैसेजेस. थैंक यू श्रेया. मोनिका, आई एम गुड. आई एम फाइटिंग दिस थिंग. कल खाना ठीक से मिला था. स्निग्धा. हर्षिता सिंह सरा चंपू बने हो. थैंक यू, थैंक यू. सोचा था कभी लिटरेचर टीचर भी ऐसे होते होंगे. 8810289637. कर लो, उड़ा लो जितनी इंसल्ट करनी है. टीज मी, कर लो इंसल्ट. चंपू बोल रहे हो मुझे. आई नो दैट वाज प्यार से. Sayed, yesterday I got the CU set paper. Today I have to go to office. I'm trying to open my office, and maybe I'll give you the solution by the evening or maybe tomorrow. Because my first priority is NET. NET exam is only in next to 7 to 8 days. डॉग कैसे होगा? हो जाएगा. Wuthering Heights and Windswept. Windswept I never heard, so Wuthering Heights अलग है. Kazuo Ishiguro जापानीज ब्रिटिश राइटर है. आलिया अगर ये क्वेश्चन गूगल पे डालोगी तो जितना मैंने बताया उससे ज़्यादा सीखोगी. पृथ्वीराज, यू हैव एन एग्जाम टुडे ऑफ कंपैरेटिव लिटरेचर. ठीक है, इसमें वो पढ़ के जाओ, शशि देश पांडे पढ़ के जाओ, एंड भारती मुखर्जी पढ़ के जाओ. और आपका कंपैरेटिव लिटरेचर में आता है, ये आता है चिनुआ एच भी आ जाएगा कंपैरिजन में. ये पढ़ के जाओ. अफ्रो अमेरिकन राइटर्स देख के जाओ. Hello Ayappa. Ayappa, I'm planning to apply for Andhra Pradesh SET exam. I will take center in Vishakhapatnam. And if the flights are resumed and it's safe to travel, I will come to Andhra. I'll be in Vishakhapatnam. I'm already Andhra SET qualified, but I'll try it once again. ये वेस्टलैंड में कितनी लैंग्वेज पढ़ाया है मैंने आपको, डिटेल भी बताई है, लाइंस भी बताई हैं, कोटेशंस भी बताए हैं. आई हैव टोल्ड यू इन द कोटेशंस. But if you're from MCA background and NEET, I'm not the right person to answer. I'm not sure. I'm just expert of NET GRF, MPhil, PhD. Okay? Chalo, get back to the topic. Get back to the questions. So before I teach you something, I'll ask one important point that what you have to remember is those who are going to appear for Karnataka SET exam on 27th of September. Please remember this thing, that whatever you have studied for NET, especially in my online classes, if you are from Karnataka, if you are already in my online classes, you are preparing NET JRF, you have completed everything from SET exams point of view. So you are in a better situation. All you have to do is just take rest, sleep well, because whenever you go to attempt the exam, you need to have a working mind. आपका जो दिमाग है पेपर में वो चलना चाहिए. I know 5 languages. I speak Marwadi, I speak Bagdi, 2 languages from Rajasthan. I speak Bhojpuri, I speak Punjabi, and sometimes when needed, I speak Haryanvi also. But उसके लिए मुझे गुस्सा आना चाहिए. और बाकी हिंदी इंग्लिश इज कॉमन. ठीक है. Now second point. All of you who are getting troubles in downloading the admit card, you are panicked. I don't understand why people take tension, or maybe I am different. If it is not downloaded, it's okay. There are 10 days. You can download in last moment also. 2 दिन पहले भी कर सकते हो. The admit card was released only for those who were attempting the exam on 24th of September and 25th of September. जिनका एग्जाम 24 और 25 सितंबर को है, सिर्फ उनके एडमिट कार्ड आए. सो डोंट वरी इफ यू आर नॉट एबल टू डाउनलोड द एडमिट कार्ड. टेंशन नहीं लेना है. ठीक है. नाउ, and under pressure, none of you read the notice that they themselves are saying, वो खुद कह रहे हैं that it's only for 24th and 25th September. महाराष्ट्र सेट एग्जाम कैंसिल हो गया. आई टोल्ड यू, मैंने पहले ही कहा था. आई टोल्ड यू नहीं होगा. इवन आई एम डाउटिंग द कर्नाटका सेट एग्जाम 27 September. They may also postpone it. This is the reason, na, because we are not prepared. Have you imagined this thing? The exam is starting 24th of September of NET exam, NET JRF, and the last NET JRF exam is going in the month of November. You know what does this mean? That 24th September to 9th or 10th November, complete October will be taken for exams. And if the last exam comes in the first week of November, it simply shows that the next NET exam cannot be conducted before the month of June, because they will take time. So they are playing with you, and it's not wrong. Obviously everybody is playing with you, government is playing with you. सब आपकी वाट लगा रहे हैं. जब एग्जाम नवंबर में खत्म होगा तो रिजल्ट कब आएगा? When will they declare the result when the exam is conducted in the month of November? December, January? When the result will be given in the January, they will announce the next forms, maybe at the end of February end, and then the exam will be in the month of May or June. आप बैठे रहोगे, घर पे बैठ के एग्जाम देते रहोगे, ट्रबल करेंगे. This is what they are doing. This is what they are. They have no plans actually. रिंकू चोपड़ा, हाँ, ये सब मिलके हमें टी टी टी. नेगेटिव मार्किंग नहीं है. देर आर सम चिंदी न्यूज़पेपर. यू नो व्हाट इज चिंदी न्यूज़पेपर? चीप न्यूज़पेपर. To circulate their papers, to increase the circulation, to increase the TRP. They write down these kind of things just before the exam. अगर आप एक बार एक नेगेटिव मार्किंग लिख दोगे तो बच्चे 10 लाख जगह पे शेयर करेंगे. हर नेट का बच्चा शेयर करेगा. एंड टेक्निकली यू हैव सर्कुलेटेड योर न्यूज़पेपर. इवन यूट्यूबर्स आर डूइंग इट. There are so many chindi YouTubers. Exam admit card came. No. Why didn't it come? Why? Okay. Why are you making these kind of videos to scare the students? But ये आपके डर पे पलते हैं. डर पे पलने वाले. If you're scared, they will do it. Anyway, Jyoti Shekhawat, WhatsApp me on 8810289637. जो जिनको बात करनी है WhatsApp करना मुझे. There is no negative marking. Yes. Nadia Khan, for women JRF 35 years, for male JRF 30 years. अगर ये एज इशू नहीं होता, had it not been the age issue, I would have gone for 10 plus JRFs. आज वो एज हटा देना, I'll start studying for JRFs. Ria, not all. In private class, I have taught you about Eugene O'Neill, Robert Frost, and Ernest Hemingway. क्या आप सब जानते हैं? क्या आप अब अच्छे हो? Yes. Uzma UK set is not released. I'm topper of 2 times UK set. Second time मैं second topper था. First topper was my student. He did damn good in paper 1. I was beaten up by paper 1. हाँ, अब चलो important topics note करो. चलो. Have you read V.S. Naipaul? Do not miss House of Mr. Bishwas. लिखते जाओ, note करो. Do not miss House of Mr. Bishwas. It's very very important. ठीक है. अंकिता, yes, I'm 31. अंकिता, ऐसा कोई बड़ी चीज़ नहीं. It's a mature age. मज़ा आता है. This is an age where you're young and you're also philosophical. 30s अच्छी एज होती है. सिकंदर 33 में वर्ल्ड चैंपियन था. I have 2 more years to be a world champion. Now remember this thing, what I mean to say. V.S. Naipaul, House of Mr. Vishwas, must read. Salman Rushdie, do not forget Midnight Children, the concept of magic realism. I have taught you this thing, the term coined by French Rowe. Magic realism is a very important phenomenon of postmoderns. Do not miss it. And please remember this, Salman Rushdie's famous essay collection, Imaginary Homelands, is equally important. Imaginary Homelands, yesterday I narrated this thing in the private live class, giving you the example of Pakistan and Africa. Remember, Imaginary Homelands has a beautiful line. Commonwealth literature does not exist. Make sure you remember that thing. Then along with these things, you should know that Salman Rushdie has won Booker of Bookers Award. How many of you know that Booker of Booker Awards has been given to him? It's for Midnight Children. So Midnight Children is not only a Booker Awardee book, it also won the Booker of Bookers. Most important point, do not forget. Angela Carter, very very important. A Night in the Circus, that's very important. The story of a girl. Now after these things, please don't forget Gunter Grass. Gunter Grass, famous work, Denzing Trilogy, D-A-N-Z-I-N-G, Denzing Trilogy. गुंटर ग्रास की सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट बुक कौन सी है? टेन ड्रम. ये जरूर पढ़नी है, ठीक है. इसके बाद गैब्रियल गार्शिया मार्क्वेज 100 Years of Solitude and Love in the Time of Cholera. Both are very very important. Then please don't forget Shelagh Delaney, a postmodern writer. Shelagh, S-H-E-L-A-G-H, Delaney, D-E-L-A-N-Y. A Taste of Honey. It's a question asked in net exam. Don't forget, Look Back in Anger, John Osborne. That's very important. Look Back in Anger. Then Christopher Fry. इसको पढ़ के जाना है Christopher Fry को. A Lady is Not for Burning. And then here we have French Lieutenant's Women. Tell me who has written this thing. Let's see online students whether they answer it or not. Who has written French Lieutenant's Women? No, not Kingsley Amis. No answer. वेरी गुड. ज्योतिर्मय मोहंती, बहुत बढ़िया. सोनिया देवगन, बहुत बढ़िया. रेना सरकार, ऑनलाइन स्टूडेंट्स रॉक. जॉन फाउल्स. एंड रिमेंबर लकी जिम, दैट्स वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट स्टोरी बाय किंग्सले एमिस. इट्स अ मस्ट रीड. ये वो बता रहा हूँ जो आपको जरूर आने चाहिए. सैमुअल बैकेट, वेटिंग फॉर गोडो, एंड गेम, 100% आना चाहिए आपको. हेरोल्ड पिंटो, अ बर्थडे पार्टी, द रूम, द केयर टेकर, 100% आपको आना चाहिए. एडवर्ड एल्बी, Who is Afraid of Virginia Woolf, and Sylvia the goat, very very important, बहुत जरूरी है, and Jew story also. Then please remember this thing, that C.P. Snow, famous lecture, Two Cultures, that's very important. C.P. Snow said that in our university education system, the education system is divided in two different parts, and that is the science culture, the humanities culture, the arts and the science. He said there are two different identities, two different culture, two different mindset. It's also a study of subcultures in university. You must have felt the science students are totally different than art students. Art students have their gatherings, science students have their gatherings, they have their standards, they have their standards. These two cultures, and he wanted this to meet. Remember, Oxford University and Cambridge and other top universities followed this thing and made the syllabus where you can read science and English literature. You can read history and physics together. This was the thing. That's called Two Cultures. C.P. Snow, Charles Percy Snow. Then don't forget to read Graham Greene. It's very very important. Power and Glory, वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट बुक बाय हिम, ये जरूर पढ़ के जाना है आपको. देन अब सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट है आपका एक और राइटर है, दैट्स टेड ह्यूज. Ted Hughes is very important for his animal imagery, hawk roasting, crow wakes are very very important. Don't forget it. And Ted Hughes का birthday letters that I have taught in online class also. मैंने आपको बताया था birthday letters में it's a connection, a direct connection with किसके साथ है? Sylvia Plath. Now remember, Sylvia Plath famous poetry Daddy. Check the lines, then go. एग्जाम में जाने से पहले डैडी की लाइंस देख के जाओ. Poetry, many of you ask me questions that what are the important poetries I should check before I go to the exam. Christina Rossetti, Goblin Market. Christina Rossetti, Goblin Market. ऑनलाइन स्टूडेंट्स को इसका स्पेशल लेक्चर अगर आपको चाहिए तो आई सेंड इट टू यू. क्रिस्टीना रॉसेटी गॉबलिन मार्केट इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. इसमें द कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ लेस्बियनिज्म, Lizzie, Laura, the question of sensuous connection between them. That's the point that you have to read when she says, eat me, drink me, save me. These lines are very, very important. Then, along with this, D.Z. Rossetti is equally important. And make sure you remember all the names of pre-Raphaelite writers. Most of the people don't even remember the names of pre-Raphaelite writers. In fact, the students who are not taking coaching classes, all they know about pre-Raphaelite is William Rossetti, Christina Rossetti and D.Z. Rossetti. आपको सब पढ़ना है. Remember this thing. Who has it? And Sister Helen, D.Z. Rossetti. Then the man who wrote, the person who wrote another story just like Canterbury Tales, News from Nowhere. Who has written that? William Morris, very important. Earthly Paradise, William Morris, very important. Now, please remember this thing, the man who discussed science, H.G. Wells, Herbert George Wells, the man who was dealing with the science in nervous 90s, last 90s में जब वो डिस्कस कर रहा था, 1890s को बोलते हैं हम the nervous 90s. Remember this thing, H.G. Wells famous books are very important. When I taught you in live class and I taught you in audio lecture online classes, I told you that so many Bollywood movies are also based on H.G. Wells. If you remember, when I was teaching you Dr. Morio's Island, I taught you about Krish 3. I told you the same stories in Krish 3. Then we also talked about the War of the Worlds, and I taught you about that the Tom Cruise has acted in that kind of movie. So don't forget, that's very very important content. Then please don't forget the very important writer R.L. Stevenson, Robert Louis Stevenson, Treasure Island. If I'm not wrong, it was published in 1883. 1886, Kidnapped, the sequel of Kidnapped Catriona next year. It's very important. And The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. Very, very important. Thank you, Krishna. Pani nahi kadha hai. This is drink Ayurvedic. Oh, why these Ayurvedic drinks are so... It's very horrible to drink it. It's very sour. Okay, like I've forgotten everything. Get back. Okay, now what to remember? Don't forget Albert Camus. Stranger is very very important. Plague, very very important. ठीक है, स्ट्रेंजर पढ़ना है, प्लेग पढ़ना है. एंड और क्या पढ़ना है आपको? फ्रेंच राइटर्स में थेरेस रैक्विन पढ़ के जाना. 90% स्टूडेंट्स हु आर नॉट इन कोचिंग क्लासेस हैव नॉट इवन हर्ड इट. उनको थेरस रैक्विन पता ही नहीं होगा. यहाँ पे ऑनलाइन स्टूडेंट्स आपको जीतने का मौका मिल जाएगा. थेरस रैक्विन, इमाइल जोला, पढ़ के जाना. It's just the poor condition of our India that these are not taught in some ordinary universities. People coming from state universities, people coming from normal state background, they don't hear these things. When I came to Delhi, started for preparing for NET, then I got to know that Chinua HB is a writer. He's an African writer. He will come in exam. Margaret Atwood is a Canadian writer. She will come in exam. And I was like, why? This is English literature. Only T.S. Eliot is the last writer, then T.S. Eliot died, and after that there is no literature. That's what I thought. Because I had one history book. So I thought in modern age only T.S. Eliot is there. Modern age comes to an end. Modern age is finished. T.S. Eliot dies. After that there is no literature. To qualify net, just mug up that history book. Take one Upkar market guidebook and mug up. I had only two books. One Upkar market guidebook, one history of English literature by R.D. Trivedi when I was without guidance. And I thought just mug up and will qualify net. Then I was like, opened my eyes. Oh my god, literary theories are there. Lit criticism is there. Postmodernist writers are there. Theories ke saath saath terminologies are there. Then African, Canadian, German, French, Russian, all writers are there. And I'm like, net is not easy. It's not everybody's cup of tea. Anyway, no problem. We are enjoying. It's being the part of literature. Literature makes you different. Literature gives you different identity. Literature gives you kind of chance to know yourself. आप खुद को जानते हैं, पहचानते हैं. ये सारा जल्दी जल्दी रिवाइज करके जाओ. Do not forget the character of wife of Bath. चौसर के अंदर wife of Bath. Don't forget. Nun prioress, her table manners are very very important. Nun priest story is very very important. Two stories told by Chaucer, very very important. Who is the first narrator, who is the last narrator, very very important. Then remember this thing, how Pardner, Parson and other religious characters, there are 8 religious characters, how they are criticized, how they are praised. Characters who are praised, I taught you that 4 characters are praised and others are criticized. So I taught you the names. Be sure you remember all the names. In online class I've taught you this thing also, that who are the 8 ecclesiastical character. मौसमी आपकी तरह बहुत लोगों का एग्जाम क्लैश हो रहा है. Yes, on 1st of October English there are so many students who are having their post graduation exam. That's why somewhere I have hope that they will again postpone the exam. I still have hope because logically they cannot get the exam clashed with any other exam. If you are clashing the net exam with the students of post graduation, how will they appear? And there are so many students, they have told me they are not going to attempt the exam because of their post graduation final semesters. So I think they may postpone once again. Then don't forget Utopia, Thomas More Utopia, very very important. It's very important. Then Mallory's Mortality Arthur, go for it. Now we switch to Total's Miscellany, Sonnets, very very important. Ankita Wasteland की audios हैं. If I make videos, then everybody will be knowing the concept. There are 3 special audios of 30 minutes given to online students. उसमें quotes हैं, lines हैं, narrations हैं. I cannot share it with everyone. Please don't mind. But my first responsibility is for my online students. I'm sorry. अगर मैं उनको धोखा दूंगा तो इसका मतलब सबको धोखा दे रहा हूँ. I can't do that. Anyway, so focus on this thing. Elizabethans, 4 great tragedy. HOKM. Hamlet, Othello, King Lear, Macbeth. Tips पे आना चाहिए. Tips पे. Tips. What is Hamlet, Othello, King Lear, Macbeth? What if they say in which book there is a song, Tom O Bedlam? In which book we have the song sung by Tom O Bedlam? किसको आता है? Tom O Bedlam. बताओ. I've taught you this in live class and lectures also. Tom O Bedlam. Lear, रैना सरकार, बहुत बढ़िया. किंग लियर, शाबाश. ऑनलाइन स्टूडेंट्स, बहुत बढ़िया. प्रेरणा जोशी, किंग लियर, बहुत बढ़िया. ऐसे ही व्हाट इफ दे आस्क यू व्हाट आर द नेम्स ऑफ 2 स्पाइज इन हैमलेट? हैमलेट में 2 जासूसों के नाम क्या हैं? जल्दी से बताओ. लेट्स सी. पता लगा शेक्सपियर भूल गए हो. वेटिंग फॉर द राइट आंसर. प्रांजलि, ये तो हो गया किंग लियर वाला. आगे बताओ. शाबाश. 2 जासूस, 2 स्पाइज इन हैमलेट. बहुत बढ़िया. रूपा जी, रूपोसना मंडल, बहुत बढ़िया. श्रेया, बहुत बढ़िया. हॉवर्ड केली, बहुत बढ़िया. वेरी गुड. अ टफ क्वेश्चन. A very tough question. What is the name of the person who fights with Macbeth at the end. Macbeth से लास्ट में लड़ने वाला कौन है? What is the name of the general who fights Macbeth at the end of the story? जिसको मैकबेथ बोलता है टुमारो 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 लाइफ इज नथिंग बट अ पुअर वॉकिंग शैडो दैट स्ट्रट्स. मैकडफ. बहुत बढ़िया मैकडफ, शाबाश, पढ़ के आए हो. व्हाट इज द ओपनिंग लाइन ऑफ मैकबेथ? ओपनिंग लाइन क्या है? Where shall we meet again? Thunder, lightning, or in rain? Fair is foul, foul is fair. Where shall we meet again? Thunder, lightning, or in rain? Fair is foul, foul is fair. Very good. Sung by witches. Who is called the fourth witch of Macbeth? A question of net exam. Who is called a fourth witch of Macbeth? ये सब बताया हुआ आपको. Everything has been explained. आना चाहिए आपको आंसर. और जिसको नहीं आ रहा है बादाम खाओ, मेमोरी तेज करो. बहुत बढ़िया. लेडी मैकबेथ. Look more, if thou has eyes to see, she has deceived her father and me thee. कहाँ से आती है लाइन? You say ना सर लाइन्स आएंगी पेपर में. I keep telling you lines also. Whenever we have important lines, I always tell you. Look more, if thou has eyes to see, she has deceived her father and me thee. Othello. बहुत बढ़िया. Brabantio, girl's father Brabantio speaks these lines in Othello to Othello, and he warns him that this lady can deceive you. That's the important thing. Now remember this thing, along with these points. Now, do you remember the lines of the poetries, the poetic lines? They're very, very important poetic lines. Those also serve who only stand and wait. Question December 2015 net exam. Those also serve who only stand and wait. किसकी लाइन है? द लाइन इज फ्रॉम दोज ऑल्सो सर्व हु ओनली स्टैंड एंड वेट. मिल्टन. मिल्टन. टेल मी द नेम ऑन हिज ब्लाइंडनेस. ममता शर्मा. बहुत बढ़िया ममता, शाबाश. एंड वेयर डू वी गेट दिस लाइन? व्हेन आई कंसीडर हाउ माई लाइट इज स्पेंट. When I consider how my light, he is talking about his eyesight, how my light is spent. ये कहाँ से लाइन है? Same, yes, on his blindness. बहुत बढ़िया, very good, keep it up. Now another line. Much have I travelled in the realms of gold. Where do we get this line? Much have I travelled in the realms of gold. Where do we get this line? Keats, Gayatri Mishra. बहुत बढ़िया, बहुत बढ़िया. It's the poetry work written by Keats on first looking into Chapman's Homer. Where do we get this line? Where are the songs of spring? Where are they? Think not of them, thou hast thy music too. ये सब पढ़ा है मैंने आपको. Where are the songs of spring? Where are they? Think not of them, thou hast thy music too. Let's see who answers. सब पढ़ा रखा है. Everything has been explained. Ode to Autumn, बहुत बढ़िया. Keats, Ode to Autumn, बहुत बढ़िया. Now you know the beautiful lines by Keats, आपको पहले से याद है, so I won't ask the other question. Now tell me this thing. Oh, lift me as a wave, a leaf, a cloud. I have fallen upon the thorns of life. I bleed. A heavy weight of hours had chained and bored. Once too like thee, tameless, swift and proud. कहाँ से है लाइन? आशीष कल्चर स्टडी पे ऑडियो, वीडियो, प्राइवेट वीडियो सब दे चुका हूँ आपको. O to West Wind, बहुत बढ़िया. O to West Wind. It's not Coleridge. No, 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 it's not Coleridge. Coleridge का quotation पूछता हूँ. Who said that all he has written can be bound within 20 pages, but the cover will be of pure gold? ये किसने कहा था? All that he has written can be bound within 20 pages, but the cover will be of pure gold. Who said this thing? Give me the answer, I'll clap for you. पढ़ाया है मैंने. स्टूपिड ब्रूक, त्रिवेदी वल्लभी, वल्लभी त्रिवेदी. बहुत बढ़िया, बहुत बढ़िया. स्टूपिड ब्रूक. Focusing the comments on mobile started paining. अरे रूपर्ट ब्रूक नहीं, नो रूपर्ट ब्रूक, स्टूपर्ड ब्रूक. STOOPARD, स्टूपर्ड ब्रूक. This is the most important quotation for Coleridge. I taught this thing in online. ये आपको आना चाहिए अच्छे से. One more question from Wordsworth. My heart leaps up when I see a rainbow in the sky. In this poetry, he has one more line. Child is father of man. Child is the father of man. Tell me. Child is the father of man. The line comes from रेनबो. बहुत बढ़िया. वर्ड्सवर्थ की लाइन, द चाइल्ड इज द फादर ऑफ मैन. Who is said that he was at devil's party without knowing it? Who was at devil's party without knowing it? कौन था डेविल की साइड में? Who was at devil's party? इसके बाद I'll ask you a tough question. Who was at devil's party? Milton was at devil's party. And who said this line? Blake, प्रेरणा जोशी. बहुत बढ़िया आंसर. प्रेरणा जोशी ने प्रॉपर लिखा है. William Blake says this thing about Milton, that Milton unknowingly, unwillingly supported Satan. He was at devil's party. That's a good point. बहुत बढ़िया प्रेरणा, शाबाश. बहुत बढ़िया. Keep it up. One question which is, I think, tough है आपके लिए. From my point of view, it's easy. But thinking about the students that you must have ignored it, I think it's tough for you. So let's see who answers. I'll clap for you. Name the two books which were brought in the dowry by John Bunyan's wife. Bunyan की वाइफ डाउरी में 2 किताबें लेके आई थी. I taught you this thing in online class. ऑनलाइन में मैंने सब कुछ पढ़ाया हुआ है. बोलो, आना चाहिए आपको. Name the two books brought in dowry. Waiting for the right answer. The two books that changed the life of John Bunyan. Bunyan became full-time preacher. Somebody has answered. Somebody has answered. Manisha Kumari, Progress Piety, Plan Man. अरे जल्दी लिखा है, but ठीक है. I'm clapping for you because spelling mistakes तो हैं, but I'm sure that you can recognize in objective questions. Plain Man's Pathway to Heaven and Practice of Piety. Plain Man's Pathway to Heaven and Practice of Piety. These two books were brought in the dowry by John Bunyan's wife that changed his life and he became a full-time preacher. वो full-time preacher बन गए थे वो. He was imprisoned for 12 years for preaching without license. Now a special question that only my online students can answer. ये सिर्फ आपको आएगा. Bishop's ban 1599 is also known as Bishop's ban. What was the result of Bishop's ban? Bishop's ban of 1599 resulted in, no Gayatri, not convent collect. Bishop's ban 1599 resulted in War of Theatres. बहुत बढ़िया. कुसुम जी, कुसुम बनवाला. War of Theatres. सोचो, War of Theatres students को पता ही नहीं होगा. Most of the students even don't know about War of Theatres. They have no idea about what is Bishop's ban, why the theatres started fighting against each other, what is known as War of Theatres, and what was the reason behind this thing. ठीक है? So there are people that don't know it, and you will have upper hand. Now in 1642, theatres were closed. What was the reason? Theatres बंद होने का reason क्या था? What was the reason behind 1642 theatre closing? Theatres close होने का reason क्या था 1642 में? No, it's not the direct answer. Not Puritans. It's civil war. Proper answer क्या? लड़ाई. Civil war. Basically the answer Puritan is also right. But actual reason is that Puritan, एक तो होता है Puritans are against theatres. एक Puritans have started the war. So war is important. Civil war. Civil war is important. 1642. Who wrote on his sacred majesty and praised the arrival of a king? Who wrote on his sacred majesty? He also wrote Astrea Redux. Who wrote on his Dryden? बहुत बढ़िया प्रेरणा जोशी, शाबाश. सोनिया जी, बहुत बढ़िया. Keep it up. What do you mean by Mac Flacno? What is the meaning of Mac Flacno? Mac Flacno की meaning क्या है? What do you mean by Mac Flacno? Mac Flacno. Son of Flacno. Okay, a tough question from all of you. Name the book which is also known as The Unhappy Marriage. What is the name of the book which the subtitle is The Unhappy Marriage? Written in 1680. Castellio, Acasto, Monimia are the characters. देखते हैं किसको आता है. 1680, Castellio, Acasto, Monimia are the characters. Lady Monimia character है, heroine है. Orphan, बहुत बढ़िया. The first domestic tragedy, Orphan. Very good. Who has written Rival Ladies? Rival Ladies. Rival Ladies किसने लिखा है? The one who also wrote Nero. किसने लिखा है Rival Ladies? Come on. The one who also wrote Nero. नथानियल ली. शशांक कुमार बहुत बढ़िया. नथानियल ली. लगता है आपने नथानियल ली को छोड़ दिया माइनर राइटर समझ के. नो, नथानियल ली हैज रिटन. इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, डोंट फॉरगेट इट. हु इज द राइटर ऑफ शी ट्रेजेडीज? शी ट्रेजेडीज. Most of the students have not even heard it, but online students, you know it. Who has written She Tragedies? I explained you. I also told you why it is called She Tragedy. She Tragedy is written by Nicholas Rowe. बहुत बढ़िया. Nicholas Rowe बहुत बढ़िया. सिकता बहुत बढ़िया. Keep it up. Name the writer who has written the vision of. Okay. आप बता दोगे. I'm sure ये बता दोगे. आपको easy है. Tough question पूछता हूँ. Tiger, tiger, burning bright. The line comes from. Tiger, tiger, burning bright. The line comes from. Did he who make the lamb made thee? Blake, famous work, Tiger. Yes. Did he make the lamb who made thee? That's Blake. Now, remember this thing. Please repeat these lines. And in my next public live, I'm thinking to give you information, a prior notice, a prior information about question session from the particular ages, so that you can prepare at least for half an hour, for 1 hour, and can feel confident. So ऐसा करते हैं. Next session we will do tomorrow on Augustines and pre-romantics. उसको पढ़ के आओ. And don't just read all these things. Only give half an hour to revise Augustines or pre-romantics and be ready to answer. So आपको इन्फॉर्म कर देंगे तो आपको थोड़ा कॉन्फिडेंस रहेगा दैट यू आर आंसरिंग इट. ठीक है. एंड शाम को प्राइवेट लाइव करेंगे आज इंग्लिश इन इंडिया पे. कल हमने मार्क्सिज्म पे किया था, कल डायस्पोरिक राइटर्स. यस्टरडे इन प्राइवेट क्लास वी फिनिश डायस्पोरिक राइटर्स and important terms of Marxism. Today in private class we'll complete English in India. Okay then buddies, and all the new students who want to contact me, WhatsApp me on 8810289637. See you all. Tata. Bye bye.